Live from Kauai in the spirit of CAN, my name is Seth Womble, and these are CANversations, episode number 8 with Ashley. We're going to be pulling her in just a moment to talk to her about some of the things that she might have been going through over the last few weeks, as well as some of the adjustments that she's making and goals that she's setting to move forward. If there's anybody that can talk about moving forward, I believe it's probably going to be this lady. Not only is she an incredible long-distance runner, but she is also a businesswoman and a family full-time mom. And that's probably one of the toughest jobs in the world. So Ashley, are you out there? There she is. We're going live with Ashley in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you there? Says it's connecting. I believe it. There she is.
Hi.
Nice to meet you in person.
Yeah, kind of. Nice to meet you too.
Well, Ashley, we're checking in with you in Vegas, correct?
Yes, you got it.
All right. Well, I'm not going to ramble because these people aren't here to listen to me. They want to know about you. So give us a nutshell about who you are and how you got to where you're sitting there today.
Okay, well, I'm in my classroom today, so I'm a kindergarten teacher, and I am a mom of 3 girls. So my life is busy and surrounded by children. But I've been a lifelong runner since I was about 11. And I actually met Andy and his wife when I was in college running at UNLV. And she was my coach and amazing. And both of them are just amazing people. So blessed to have had them in my life when they were here. After college, though, I had my 3 kids and was a stay-at-home mom. And then just this year, my baby went to kindergarten, so I came back to teaching. What a year to come back to teaching, though.
No kidding. Jeez.
But over that time, I started my own photography business and also got back into running very seriously. So I'm kind of juggling family life, teaching, photography, and running right now.
Jeez, my head's spinning thinking about it, really, because for all the moms out there, whether you're parenting with a partner or not, that is a big job by itself.
It's huge.
And you've
huge.
got all these other things that you're doing. How is this possible? It must be some kind of a weird motivational idea that you have.
Running, I swear, like when I was a kid, I had anxiety pretty bad. And getting into running really helped me channel that. And running for me is my yoga. It has taught me how to be so mentally tough that these things are nothing. I just know how to get through it. When you're running those long miles and it hurts and you want to give up, you learn, you teach yourself to overcome those things and push through it. So, I just think that's how I handle it. There's so many things that I want to do and so many goals I have that I find a way.
Amazing. So it's already sounding like, to me, you're one of those key people that's good to have around, because you are authentic through all of the things that you do, and you apply the things that you learn from one thing to all the things that you do. That's super important.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's wild right now because a lot of us are having to integrate our multiple lives as far as kind of narrowing things down to some values and things like that, and really being our core person more, instead of dividing ourselves
Right.
as a mom or as an employee or whatever it is that you're having to divide yourself. You're really kind of given a unique opportunity these days to integrate all those characters into one authentic person, and you are clearly that. Well, so before we get started, because I do have some questions for you, just in some general stuff, and we can go around the block or tangent, no matter what. It's all good. We're here to learn about each other and hopefully spread some good things in the world too. I do have a couple of hats, some CAN apparel. We've been giving these away during these CANversations. So what we're going to do is, at some point later on in this feed, we'll ask a question, and the first person that can put a comment there in the sections, we'll send them a hat.
Awesome. Those are cool hats. I like them.
And you're wearing one of your can shirts now, is that right? Look at
I
that.
do. My favorite one. Um, I wear this to class a lot because the kids like it.
Oh, cool.
It's they can read the word can in kindergarten, so they're always like, "What's with the can shirt?" So I teach my class all about it.
And as we get older, we like to overcomplicate can with lots of other words, but really, if you just simplify it, it's
It's true.
yeah,
That's all that's to it.
yeah. Okay, well, as we get started here, the first thing we like to go through is kind of any of the harder things that you had to give up or face or truly change going into these last 8 weeks or so. So obviously things are crazy, I mean, and you probably have a laundry list. Some people don't though. Some people really, there wasn't a whole lot of adjustment. But I think it's interesting and relatable for many people to be able to hear maybe some of the things that you've had to go through that have been rough over these last 2
Yeah.
months.
So many, so many. It's been a roller coaster. Let's see, 8 weeks ago, I was, in this classroom, my first year back, just when this whole pandemic started, and we had no idea where this was going to go, but it was scary because we had, kids sick at school, and we didn't know if it was the corona or whatnot, and then school ended, and it's like, now what? But this school I'm at, within 2 days, we went virtual. So in 2 days, we set up 100%. We kept going and teaching, and I've been nonstop teaching on Zoom twice a day for 30 minutes with my class for the last 8 weeks
Wow.
from my house. And so I've been teaching with them, and my 3 kids at home are doing the same thing. So I'm homeschooling and teaching. But it was really hard. The kids they don't understand this. They're little, and they're sad and they're crying on Zoom the first few weeks because they can see me, they can see their friends, but they can't, be around them.
Yeah.
And that was a really big adjustment, but I just tried to keep things fun and positive. Like we danced a lot, we laughed a lot, and I just reassure them that this is not going to be forever and that they're part of history. So it's think of it as like something you were part of, and we will overcome this. And then, so it's been okay. Like this is our last week. We're getting ready to get out of here. So I'm like cleaning my room up.
Gotcha.
But besides that, though, I was really, really looking forward to running my second Boston Marathon. So I have been working really hard to hit my PR. I ran a 3:30 last year there and qualified for this year. So I got a new coach, Alejandro, and he's been working with me, and I've been, oh my gosh, this is hard. Training for a marathon is hard. But I got the news that it was canceled, and they did reschedule it for September 14th, but it's the one day I can't go.
Gotcha.
So, it was like life crushing kind of at first, but I was sad. Of course, who wouldn't be? I cried for sure. And then I just, I had to look at the positive because all that training can't be for nothing, right?
That's right.
So I have the Chicago Marathon 3 weeks after the Boston. So I just look at it as I get a longer time to build now and be that much stronger and maybe even crush my PR more than I wanted to.
Yeah.
So, I'm okay. I'm happy now because I see the strength I'm gaining from this. So,
You almost got me there a couple times, and this has been happening during these conversations. One with the whole teaching thing, really quick, definitely a lot of love and gratitude to all of you teachers out there. I'm definitely getting choked up. I still keep in touch with my 8th grade English teacher.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, there's important people out there, and it's more than just being positive. You're a light that's, you're beaming right into these little beings that are growing up. So thank you.
Thank you.
And then
they've made me cry several times, when their little faces get on Zoom and they're like, I miss you, and when am I gonna see you again? And it's like I can't cry because I have to be, positive and happy for them
Yeah.
and reassure them it will be okay, even though I kind of don't know because none of us really know.
No, and they pick up on that. They get, I would imagine, being a young person again and looking at all my heroes, seeing how confused and how unsure they were of things, that wouldn't be a very encouraging feeling.
Right,
Yeah. And it's
right.
not until we get a little bit older and we discover that adults are just humans too, and we really never know what we're doing.
It's true. Yep. It's true. We're winging it every day.
Yeah. But part of that not knowing what we're doing is making goals and having things to work for. And as I was talking with Bryce earlier, he as well had some competitions that were taking away, the Olympics that he was aiming for and all this stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But when you get in that time, when you give up that thing, it's really good to feel that crushedness, because that can
Yeah.
fuel that feeling for whatever that next step is going to take. And the whole CAN thing is not, I like to reiterate that it's not just about a positive affirmation. It's a plan. It's not
It
just
is.
saying everything's going to be okay or everything's, sunshine and roses all the time. It's definitely not.
It's not.
Well, so with the Boston Marathon thing, that's a huge goal, and I definitely have a few people that I've spoken with in my life that have been aiming for those kinds of things as well. And this year particularly, it was really devastating, and they draw a huge crowd.
They do.
Yeah, lots of not only runners but spectators and things like that. So I'm curious, are you hearing of any ways that they're trying to consider still continuing to do these events and just not have a crowd somehow? Because we're exploring these with events that we have here on island, and a lot of creative ideas coming to the table, but not a lot of them are coming to
I think
fruition.
it's hard. It's hard with marathons, to like crowd control because it inevitably is a crowd, But I was really hoping they would just postpone it, to be honest with you. But at the same time, there's so many people out there who this is their first one and they've trained so hard and they're grateful it got postponed to September and they're hoping it'll happen in September. But then for people like me who can't do it at all, they are not deferring you for next year.
Mm-hmm.
And there are no races to qualify. And my window shuts in September. So for me, not being able to qualify in September, I have to wait until 2022 to run Boston again.
Gotcha.
So, bummer, but again, okay, my whole goal was to run the 6 majors. So I feel like I cannot sit here and be this upset about not getting to do it twice, because I had the pleasure of doing it once and it was amazing and it was the most perfect race I've ever run. Everything that I wanted in my head to happen happened. And so maybe maybe I was just meant to do it perfect that one time, And so I got into Chicago, and that's number 2 on the 6 majors list for me. So, I can't say it's not working out, because it is,
Just maybe not the way that you had originally planned it.
Yeah, and that's life,
Yeah.
Things do not go as planned, and what are you going to do? Just fall apart and give up? You can't, you have to keep going. And I know I keep saying can't, but I'm saying it because you can,
Yeah, no, that's
that's
okay.
just can.
That is the
You can
yin and
always
the
keep
yang
going.
of the concept, really. There is no can without a can't, like dark and light, all that
Exactly.
stuff. So it's not that it doesn't exist. It's that we get to choose how we think about that
Right.
situation.
You can't truly love and appreciate and be thankful for something unless you've experienced failure and setback and disappointment. It goes hand in hand. So, failure is kind of a beautiful thing sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there are there any examples maybe in the past where, I mean, you've obviously got a lot of experiences under your belt, broad range of experiences, where you maybe were really aiming for something, and for whatever reason it didn't work out, disappointment, all that stuff sets in, but then maybe somewhere down the road it became apparent that was not the thing that you were supposed to do because there was something else that you didn't know about. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I do. It's mostly running related,
That's
honestly.
okay.
But in high school, when I was I want to say freshman, I was this like freshman phenom, like amazing runner, and I made it all the way to cross country state, and I ended up coming in 16th place by like a tenth of a second, and the top 15 is all state, and it's like the big woohoo,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was like the first freshman and everything, and that was crushing, that I missed it by that much, and I for weeks was like, why couldn't I have pushed that much harder, and I was disappointed in myself, but again, what are you going to do? You're going to give up? I just looked at it as like, okay, next year I got to push that much harder. And I never gave up. I just kept going. And I mean, in college, I was not like some star athlete. Okay. Like college was hard. I went through a lot in my life during that time. I got married young and I had a lot of kind of tragic things go on in my life around that time that mentally it was really hard. But, I just knew that that was my passion and I had to be true to myself and I owed it to myself to try and never give up because I know I'd be disappointed.
Hmm.
And like that's same like with having kids. So many moms gave up their passion when they had kids. And like I love my kids and my kids come first, kind of, but I come first, because I need to be healthy mentally so that they can. And you know what? They look up to me so much. I see it. They come to my races and I want them to know like you can be a mom and you can have all these hats on your head and you can still like run hard or play soccer or do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah.
Even when you are turning into an old lady like myself
That,
who's going to be 30 soon and still wants to crush goals.
plenty of journey
So,
left in those legs, I'm sure. Or no, nobody's
so
worrying
much.
about that. Uh,
I hope.
wow. Okay, great. Um, I'm just recalculating my thoughts because this is really
I
good
know I'm
stuff.
sorry so much.
I'm very much a tangenter myself, and I just want to make sure we keep encouraging people because what you're saying is so true. So many people give up their things, their passions, or whatever. Some people don't even know what their passion is, and they don't get to that point. And they feel that they've got to distract themselves with busyness or with family life or with work or whatever it might be. And what they're not doing is taking care of themselves.
Right.
And some people don't know how because they just don't give themselves the time, because I think that's actually a difficult conversation to have with yourself. Like there's a negative connotation to being selfish, where taking care of yourself doesn't have to be selfish. Taking care of yourself is going to make you a better person for the rest of the world around you, for your kids, for
Yeah.
your coworkers, for your teammates. If you're not doing that, then you're not good for the rest of the world. So you
Exactly.
got to start with yourself.
You have to. You have to set that example and be contagious that way. I always try to like tell all my friends, all the time, just who they're like, I wish I could run like you, and I'm never going to be as fast as you, and this, and I just say, it does. You don't have to run. You never have to be as fast. I'm not as fast as the next person, but just get outside. Just get up and walk, or go do some exercise, or just smile. Just smiling somehow it makes your whole entire body feel good and it's contagious. Spread it. Spread your light. Everybody out there, just like keep spreading it,
Yeah, yeah.
Especially now.
No, there's science
Like,
behind that. That's a chemical thing even. Yeah. That's good. Smile for sure. Laugh as much as you can.
Smile. Yes.
We've touched on a couple of these things in these conversations. One is, the argument of can being just being overly optimistic or something like that. And again, that's not it, because what we're doing is we're simplifying things down to a plan and just not saying no. Basically, if there's a big goal, it's going to be totally unachievable if you need it immediately, but if you chip away at it,
Right.
yeah, you can get there. So like you were saying, there's a lot of people that use comparison as an excuse to not even try, because there's
Exactly.
already all these people that are so much better at it than me. But if comparison is your basis of standard, then you're robbing yourself of joy.
Yep.
So
100.
for me, I'm an artist. I almost hate when people say I'm talented and, oh, I wish I could draw like you, or I can't even draw a stick figure. I just, my skin crawls, because one, talent is overrated. I know a lot of talented people that are sitting on their asses and they're not doing anything.
Yes. Yes.
So you got to have some heart behind that, and you got to have a plan and some motivation. You got to keep moving forward. That's that's
Yeah. I feel that. I feel what you're saying 100%. It's almost uncomfortable when people like do that, I wish I was as good as you kind of thing, because like everybody has their thing, and like you said, some people haven't found it yet, but you just gotta search and you gotta find it.
yeah,
You owe it to yourself.
yeah. Well, let's throw that nugget out there for you guys to chew on. Comparison is the thief of joy. You're not even giving yourself a chance when you're comparing yourself to someone else or something else or another experience. You are the one you are right now, and you can make a step forward today, no matter what it is. Yeah. Some people out there for sure having a hard time, and we've been getting some really awesome messages. Some of these comments are coming through for some of these people just in time. I need these reminders. Each one of these conversations has been incredible for me to get reminders of things that are really obvious, but we need to be told, and we need to lift each other up.
Yeah.
Part of that is asking for help. As much as it is hard for us to say that we need to take care of ourselves, is it easy for you to ask for help?
Sometimes. I am sort of one of those people that everybody comes to talk to. I'm just like a beacon that people are drawn to spill their whole lives upon, and that's great. I know that's what I'm here for. I'm a amazing listener, but sometimes it's hard for me to let out all the emotions I'm bottling up. That's something I need to work on. But I know, like with my close friends and family, I've been so much better about letting it out, because it feels better. It hurts when you hold that in. And again, this has been an up and down roller coaster, this whole journey, like with just everything that's kind of changed in our lives, my life, your life, everyone's lives. It's how do you adjust to that so quickly? You don't, but you have to you have to ask for help. It's okay. I've broken down many times, and my friends have been there to finally be the listener for me, and it has felt amazing. I've never really been on that side, so I'm like, it's a new hat for me, and I like it. It's good.
Awesome.
They're lifting me up in ways I didn't know I needed to be lifted, and it's I don't know. We have to do that as human beings for
That's
sure.
kind of key too. Sometimes we don't know how to take care of ourselves. And we do need that encouragement from somebody that can maybe see it from a different perspective or a different set of lenses. It's really that simple. Maybe we don't know how to take care of ourselves all the time. And when you've got people around you that care about you, they can see those things and help you out with that. I would
Yeah.
like that in my life. So the people that love me, the friends and family, foes, whatever you want to be, let me know if there's something you think I could work on. I'd be into it. So we talked about some of the things that you had to change, some of the hardship coming into these last few weeks, and now starting to talk about some of the adjustments. Maybe there's some things, some routines or something that you've applied that's different now that you weren't doing before these last 8 weeks. Is there, I know there's people out there that are looking for those things, and they're looking for the inspiration on how do I get through these days when I don't know what tomorrow is going to hold.
That's true. I think it was somewhat easy for me because I have kids, and like it's key to keep routine with your kids, and being a teacher who's still teaching virtually. So I just kept us all on a schedule and myself, you know. So when class ends and there's life and we can't go do anything, I try to keep to a routine and keep it not the same every day, but just make sure that I'm getting my exercise in, you know, like I am you know, playing with the kids. I am doing crafts with them. We're going out in the backyard even. I am on social media, seeing what everyone else is doing. Maybe they're doing something new. Oh, let me try yoga now. I think that's key is like, you know what, keep yourself busy, look and see what's out there, and try something new for once. This is like the perfect time to try something new. I am not an artist, but let me just tell you that I have started doing these directed draws with my kids for something fun.
Cool.
And you know, now I'm drawing silly things like Wonder
Hey, that's
Woman,
great.
and you know, it's fun. That's been keeping me going, and that gives me something to look forward to. And also just resetting my goals. The goals that I had before this have changed. And so I changed them. And so I'm still working towards those goals. They're just different goals now.
Okay. We're definitely going to talk about those goals in just a minute because that's important, and that's kind of how I like to tail end these episodes a little bit, is how we're working forward. Shoot, I lost my train of thought as far as what I was gonna is what you were saying there.
Sorry.
No, that's my fault. I usually keep a notepad here. Let's see. We've been talking about with some of the other CANversations. Say you come into a situation where things are coming down hard on you, and you're feeling like you're going into the muck and the mire, and things are piling up. Do you have some things that you do to change your state of mind, your how you're thinking about things?
I write a lot. I journal. So like I told you before, sometimes it's hard for me to express out loud to people how I'm feeling about things.
Mm-hmm.
So I write a lot of it down, and while I'm writing, sometimes my train of thought changes, and I start writing down new goals and how I can make the negative things I was thinking better. And then running for me, you know, running, that's where all my thinking happens. Running is my yoga.
Yeah.
I don't know, I zone out and I am in a whole nother world, and that is when my best ideas happen.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Okay, now I remember what I was going to say, because you mentioned yoga a couple of
Perfect.
times, and I struggle with that too. I've definitely tried. I've tried, meditating, all of these things through and
Oh,
through.
yeah.
I'm an ocean person, and we've been speaking with lots of different people over the week that maybe don't have access to the ocean. For myself and a lot of people I know, it's as simple as just going for a swim in the ocean, and I can change that frame of reference. And same thing, you get to that place where you're in the moment, you can have free thought, and things really kind of come into a bit of a clarity during those times.
Yes.
So we've been
Yes.
discussing with everybody, what are ways that you can achieve that kind of a flow state, is what a lot of people are calling it, and runners definitely experience it. Weightlifters,
Yeah.
climbers, free divers, surfers, all of these people experience this state that you might be able to achieve even through meditation or yoga. But I can't do those things. So it's really important that you do find something. It might be even as easy as getting outside and going for a walk. In fact, I think a common thread that we've found is that if you combine a little bit of exercise with some natural elements, then you're really winning with a good combination.
So I've adopted meditation with my kids. We love the ocean. Obviously, we don't live by one because we live in this hot, dry desert. So our escape is California, usually the ocean. And like you, oh my gosh, the feeling you get, the energy you get from the ocean is just amazing. I crave that. And Obviously, I don't have that here, but we meditate to ocean music
Okay.
or ocean sounds. And I will do these, I'll have the kids close their eyes and I guide them to be at the ocean and like have them feel their toes in the sand and like the water rushing up on them. And it reduces the anxiety in my kids so much. I see it, because they're struggling at home now, not being at school and being social. So I've seen a good change with that. Yoga, okay, I am not flexible. Let's be real. Like, I look like a hot mess and like I can, I'm looking at these girls and their legs bending which way and what and I'm like, cool, I'll try, but I'm trying. it's it's kind of fun.
And it's always good to try something new that you are uncomfortable with. You don't have to keep doing it, but it's always good to try.
Yeah, it's something new. And then I mean, I'm kind of like a hippie chick, like I'm all about the spiritual world and light and love and all of that. But like it sounds corny maybe, but maybe not to you. I think you might get this. But like I tell people who don't have a hobby or trying to find something, I'm like, take your shoes off and go outside and just walk around in the grass or on the ground and like connect with the earth. And like you have to connect. You just do and like you soak up the earth's energy and I swear it just makes you feel better.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
So,
I teach art from time to time as well, and often we'll get kids that just I don't know where to start, or I don't know how to do this, or I can't, or whatever it is. And if you take away that final whatever product that they're aiming for, and you just simplify it, like you're talking to people that I want to achieve a Zen state or whatever, but it just seems so unachievable. I've tried all these things. We'll start with something simple, like you said. Take your shoes off, put your feet in the grass, close your eyes, take a deep breath.
yep.
It might seem weird, but laugh at yourself. That's going to be good too.
Yeah,
You're not going
exactly.
you're not going to lose from that experience. In another example, with the kids that I've worked with that are just totally stumped, don't know how to start. Think of
Yeah,
think of a color. It doesn't even have to be your favorite color. Think of a
right.
color that makes you feel a certain way or something, and then pick out a couple of those colors that are in that range, and then just make some marks. It doesn't matter what it is, but something will happen, and you're moving forward.
I love that. That was actually our school's motto this year was make your mark. Do you know that book?
I don't know. I do read a
It's
lot.
it's like
Was it?
you would like it because it's about art and it's about like a kid who is afraid to draw because his doesn't look like, everyone else's. And it's just like what you said, just like put it down on paper. So that was like our whole motto this year
Cool.
was make your mark.
I gotta check that
Yeah.
out. And actually, this is awesome because I wanted to start asking these during these interviews if there are books or particular documentaries or anything that you would like to encourage others to check out. So we'll give you a minute to think about that. But I definitely want to check out that
Oh
Make Your
no, I
Mark.
have I have a book. And if I think my coach was just on here, he's going to kill me for not remembering the name of it. But it's Dina Castor's book. I just read it, but
He
it was
might be able to put
so
it in the comments there.
no. I'm like, if he's still on here, he's going to laugh at me very hard because he made me read it. But it's just about her journey as a distance runner, as a runner, going through as a child, just like me, as a child through college and then into a professional career and how she juggled it. And it was so inspiring. And I feel like any runner could relate to it. I mean, even non-runners could, just about the struggle you go through mentally.
There it is.
There he goes. Thank you. Sorry. I know. Yes. Really good book though.
There you go, guys. Check out Let Your Mind Run. What was the name of the author?
Dina
Dina
Castor.
Castor. Cool.
Yeah, she's amazing and super inspiring. So I know, I'm sorry.
Coach, pipe down out there. She's trying to focus on her interview here. This is really important stuff. Oh man, super cool. I can really relate to the Make Your Mark thing. One of the strategies that I teach people in painting large scale, doing mural work and stuff like that. It's intimidating. but it can be for a sketch on a piece of paper too. Make that first mark. It doesn't matter what it is. You can fix it, cover it up, add it to the design, whatever. So I'll approach a wall that's 3 stories high. I'll grab a paintbrush or a spray can and just make a mark.
Yes.
And then I gotta at least go fix that.
Yeah. Or you just see where it goes, it turns into something. I guess that's kind of like running though. It's kind of like when people want to run, they don't know where to begin. And I'm like, just go run. Like go run for 5 minutes or walk run. You have to start somewhere.
Do you have
I
some
think,
running advice? Because there's a physical aspect to that where I used to love long distance running when I was a kid. I've had 2 knee surgeries and I'm an ocean person. So I tend to prefer less abrasive exercise, but I don't even like to say that word because I know that there's a way that you can run that's still really fluid and healthy for your body. It's not as jarring. You see people jogging and it's like, oof, can you just make that
I
a little
mean,
smoother?
well, let's be real. Like, running in the water is going to be the best thing for you. It's hard on your body. And years of running, it hurts for sure. So, I just always stress to people, you need good shoes. You need good shoes. You cannot just go wear garbage shoes and expect your body to like feel good. It's not going to
Yeah.
happen. Um, and you have to work on your gait too, your running gait, the way your body moves, like you were saying. Like some people you see running on the sidewalk, I'm just like, I just want to stop and fix them because I'm like, that can't feel good.
It
So,
might cause problems too. Yeah.
but the thing is, like when you don't run, you get out there, your body feels awkward at first. When I've taken a lot of time off, I swear when I first go back out there, I feel like a baby deer learning to, like nothing's working together. And you just like, you have to keep at it every day or every other day, or even if it's a few times a week, just add to what you're doing. Walk running. Turn that walk running into a slow
Yeah.
jog for 5 minutes, and just keep building on it. And then you got to take care of yourself. You can't, running is 24-hour maintenance always.
Hmm. Hmm.
So lots of ice baths and salt baths and rolling and massaging. Every athlete knows this.
Well, we could
So,
definitely probably do a whole nother episode on
yeah.
like training, things like that. We did get one question in there. Somebody was asking if you do any higher altitude running, stuff like that to help.
Okay, well, yes, we do have mountains here that are about 45 minutes away from where I live. So actually, in college, we did a whole week where we stayed up there and ran at altitude. And it does help. I live basically at sea level, in the desert. So when I feel it big time, when I go anywhere that's at altitude, um, if I could do it more, I would, but I don't. That's just not in my life right now.
Hmm.
Like I can't just leave my family and go altitude train, but I will go run in Mount Charleston up there, and it helps. We kind of do heat training here.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
It's a real thing. It's just like altitude training, but we have the luxury of training our bodies to go far in the heat without water too. And I don't want to say everybody go run long without water because I do bring water, but because I've been doing this for so long, I can go run 10 or 12 miles without water, in 80-degree
That's
weather. But
insane.
that's about
That sounds so
it.
extreme.
And it's really hard, but I on my longer runs, like tomorrow's my long day. I have 12 miles. I'm gonna bring water for sure because why wouldn't you? I need that to help fuel my body for these runs, and it's hot. It's what 90. It's like 96 degrees already here.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
that's an
So I'll be
interesting
waking up at 4 in the morning
in the
and
cool
doing
part
that.
of the day. Yeah, no kidding. Gosh. It's interesting just touching on that a little bit because when you told me the distance and the hours and whatever that you're running without water, it's like, for me, that's insane. And obviously, I wouldn't go out and try that. That would be
Oh,
insane. But
Yes, it
you've been
was.
working on it for a while, and this is testament to the adaptability, the physiological adaptability of the body. So, like, I'm a
Right.
free diver, and I've only been at it for a few years, as far as like actually trying to train for it a little bit here and there. And it's incredible how adaptable your body is, but you got to give it the chance to work
Yes.
slowly through that. You don't just jump in.
Wow, that's amazing that you do that. That's so brave.
Well,
You got to hold your breath for a long time, right?
I mean, it doesn't. It literally for okay. So I haven't been talking about myself really in any of these, and I really want to highlight you guys. But with freediving, I can get to that flow state within 30 seconds. So a
Okay.
long
Yeah.
distance runner, you guys got to hit that sort of whatever. It's different for everybody. 10 minutes of running or 15, and then all of a sudden you can go for 25. It's like you get
Yep.
to that spot, everything's flowing, you're thinking. So for me with freediving and like yoga, I can't meditate, I can't do any of that stuff. But as soon as I get in the ocean, my body is now adapted to already put myself in that state, because it knows that when I'm going down there to do that, that's what we're going to do. My brain chimes in. It's like, right, this is what I need. Thank you. Let's do
Yep.
this.
Yep.
So start with those small walks. Put your feet in the grass. Take in
Yep.
the air, the sun, whatever it is, the rain, and then maybe make it a little bit harder the next day.
Exactly. Push
Yeah.
yourself. See what you can do. You'd be amazed at the things you can do. It's all up here. You know what I mean? It's all there. It's there.
Yeah. Again, like talent is the same. Like I don't know, if you were just born naturally exceptional at I don't know, surfing or something like that. You're not still not doing it unless you're putting in that work.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we're getting into the back half of the conversation, the CANversation, excuse me. And I do want to give away these hats, but let's talk about your goals for a little bit. What are you working on now? And has there been obviously some adjustment because of the period we've just been through?
Yes, absolutely. So right when we went into the quarantine, I was just hitting my like biggest peak for Boston training. So like those 20 milers and plus. So I never got to hit those, which is fine. So I've had to scale back and kind of go back down in mileage. So it's been the longest training period I have ever had in my life because I didn't stop. I kept going. My coach and I, we readjusted. So I'm working on the base building phase still. So now my goal is Chicago in October. So that is where my training is going now. So it's a little bit different. I don't have to work so much on hills as much as I was for Boston, because Boston is, all about those
Yeah.
hills. Chicago's pretty flat. So I'm going to work on some more speed and just getting, used to those long miles, because that's the hardest part. But now I have more time to do that. So I'm going to be that much stronger when I get there,
Awesome.
which is exciting, why not? I'll be that much better. And then with teaching, that part of it, our goals right now are to come up with creative ways of how we're going to teach in case we are still going to be virtual when we come back in the fall.
Yeah.
So that is how we have been readjusting and setting new goals.
Yeah. No, that's good. That is good. Do you guys have any personal needs or requests in alignment with those goals that you can put out to the world right now? It's not about anything other than just literally backing up those goals that you have with any possible things that you need that you're not sure how to get or achieve at this point.
Honestly, like I'm good. I have a good crew behind me, like so much support from friends and family, and that's the most important thing. And I think it's just everybody just needs to spread the positive spirit around. And if you're alone, and you don't have that, like we need to find those people and reach out to them. If you know that somebody's struggling, we need to reach out to them and not be afraid to help them in a safe way, from 6 feet away. But in all seriousness, I'm lucky to have the things I need right now. And lucky to have the support I have that I do. But again, there's people out there who don't have that. And I'm trying every day through social media, if I can, to just be positive and be there for people, even people I don't know. Like I will listen, I will talk to you if that helps.
It's wonderful. There you have it. Here's another one of our wonderful champions for life that's opening herself up. If you guys need to connect with somebody, she's an inspirational person on so many levels. We are both here for you. If you're out there and you need to talk to somebody, send us a message. No problem. We can't do this alone. And it's interesting that you brought up people that might be alone right now. And often when we get out there in the world, it's a really common thing to be a helpful person and say, oh, if you need some help, let me know. A lot of people have a lot of difficulty asking for help, like we talked about earlier. So use that discernment. If you know you've got somebody in your community, in your family, in your circle somewhere that you haven't heard from in a little while, call them up. Yep. Look, I hate talking on the phone, but these CANversations have made every single day that much better because of the things that we're talking about. So that encouragement can go a long way for somebody that you know might be sitting around right now. Yeah, I love it. Thanks, Ashley. That was great.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Let's give away a hat. We need a question, though, so I'd like to give you the opportunity to ask a question. And if you really just can't think of anything, I'll come up with something pretty easy, probably. We've got these 2 hats we'd like to give away, and Ashley is now brainstorming on a question from somewhere in our feed here that we just did.
Oh, somebody asked me if snowboarding gets in the way of my running.
Probably not this part of the year.
Or wait, what did you say? If running gets in the way of snowboarding? Never. Yes, I do snowboard, actually.
It seems like training to me. You gotta.
I know my coach is going to kill me again, but when I was actually training for Boston, I went and did some snowboarding. But like sometimes you gotta go do the things you love, right? And that is one of my things. I gotta go boarding and ride those rails sometimes. So no, I make time for snowboarding during running.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, how about we ask them, even though you might have just barely mentioned it right then, something really significant. We're asking you guys out there right now that are listening. We want to give you guys, we're going to send you a CAN hat or a sticker or some apparel, no matter where you are, for free. If you can answer, what was the one major thing that Ashley had to give up going into this social isolation period with the quarantine and all this stuff? What was the one major thing that she was working really hard for that she had to give up, and it's going to be another year or 2 before she gets to see that as a something she gets to tackle again? Anybody out there? It's a pretty easy one, but somebody's got to know.
Here's a hint. Here's a little hint.
While we're waiting for an answer there.
That knew left.
What did you say?
I said all the people that knew left.
Oh, well, that's all right. We've got about 10 more minutes left before the seeing her students in person.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. I think that's actually pretty good. But it wasn't the answer we were looking for, but hey, I think that's actually
a good one.
Just as valid, totally.
It is right there, yes, is equal.
The unicorns were not actually involved, no, but
I'm trying. Come on, guys. What major thing has a unicorn? Here, wait. I have another clue. Hold on. I'll flash it real quick.
She's giving it to you guys.
Come on.
Jeez. Coach is doing a good job there, not spoiling it for everybody either.
I know, right?
I think it's okay.
Did you guys see that? Come on.
We are definitely gonna give that first giveaway to it was Greg, I think, that came through there. Greg, yep.
I tried.
So look, you guys, Ashley, I want to make sure they know because this is a big deal. Ashley was training.
Larry.
Oh.
Sorry, Larry PE said it. She said Boston back
There
there.
we go. All right. Larry PE, we got you. We're going to send you some can gear no matter what. And Greg, I think we're going to get you something too, buddy. We really appreciate you, Ashley. It's an honor to have some time with you. I look forward to when we do get to finally meet in person. It's a strange
Sure.
thing for me as I'm a hugger, and
Me
I've had to
too.
get used to this. It's been tough, but we can still virtually high five and like some shakas, and the long live
I
and
got
prosper is always good.
That's difficult. Ooh, all right, got you.
We got to keep trying things that are challenging. That's where the growth is.
Yes, for sure. Thanks for having me on here. This was awesome.
Really appreciate you. It's been an honor, Ashley. What's the rest of your day look like?
Packing up my classroom and making kinder graduation signs. They're coming through the car loop on Tuesday to graduate. So
Cool. That's
yes.
really exciting. Congrats to all you guys out there that are making those steps into the next part of life, whatever it might be. We are in this together. It's a little different for everybody, but lots of love.
Yep.
Spirit of Can is with
Hang in
you.
for everybody.
Thanks, Ashley. You guys check out Ashley. She's an incredible person. And my name's Seth Womble.
So are you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. We'll check in again tomorrow with another live conversation. Have a blessed day, Ash.
Thank you, you too.
Aloha.
Bye.